Hello and welcome to the Nameless blog, the Elimination Chamber edition that is, and I am one of your hosts, Aaron, and I'm with, what are you still considered? I must ask, because we never figured this out last time, I don't think.
Kind of like a sidekick, kind of like a good-looking sidekick. Kind of like James Bond has, his Bond ladies. That's kind of what I. But. Can we restart? Can we redo this?
I don't think we can restart.
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, you walked right into it. Adam Davis, the other, I guess, host for tonight.
I guess I'll stick with co-host. How about that? Or sidekick. I like sidekicks. That means
at least you don't have people walking around willingly exclaiming lady parts.
That's true.
Like John Cena.
That's true. I think I'll come up with my own name. I'll get back to you on what I am.
You'll come back to it. Okay, so you'll just make up your title then. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. The more I think about it, the more I don't like sidekick. I don't like.
It's a funny movie.
Maybe.
But, anyways, we're not here to talk about lady. Well, okay, that may actually come up later on lady parts, but that's a whole different story.
I think that's coming up first, right?
No, that's wrong. And what I don't know what half you are of this team, since you haven't came up with a name. First match that we're going to talk about for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, the final pay-per-view stop for the road to WrestleMania, because, that's important to say, is the Divas Championship match, Beth Phoenix versus Tamia Snuka. Okay, seriously, that is a hard name to say. They just stick with her. Tamia? Come on, really? Amika? Bah.
Yeah.
Can't say her name to begin with, much like.
Yeah.
Do you have any opinion on this match? Because seriously, I'll be honest. Is there a purpose for Beth Phoenix to lose the championship?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not like a yes, like saying, yeah, there is a purpose. To me, I see something else going on between these two. I don't see like a competition. I see a certain amount
filler?
of respect. Well, yeah, filler too, but kind of like a certain amount of respect and maybe setting up for something else. Because with Natalia's flatulence problem, I think Beth is looking for another number two. Another sidekick, if you will.
Yeah.
And I think Tamina or Miss Snuka.
Let's just go with Miss Snuka for one, because that is a name and a half to say.
Yeah, actually, when I got picks for this, I let the other person say her name. That's what I did. I'm like, Beth Phoenix, and even though I had the name right in front of me, hope they don't see that. Huh.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. To be honest, maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but I think this whole pay-per-view, it's pretty much predictable. I mean, there could be a surprise, but I don't see it. I don't think they're going to mess with, because that's the problem is your Elimination Chamber, and you're setting up for WrestleMania 28. You're not going to change a lot of things from here to there. I think they have a certain.
You got quota to keep up with.
Yeah, they have certain matches in mind, and I think messing with that Elimination Chamber, they're probably not going to. And I don't.
The matches have to set up themselves.
Yeah, and I don't see Beth and Tamina, Miss Snuka, really, going to WrestleMania. I think, like you said, it's filler. A lot of people have been saying Karma and Beth Phoenix. I don't know. We'll see. But at WrestleMania. But I don't know. I think
it's one of those matches. It just feels like a filler match. That the rivalry started the night after the Royal Rumble, and pretty much the only thing it does is help set up the next match. Just to say, yeah, we didn't forget about the Divas Championship, which we honestly thought they had forgotten about it. I mean, I think, like, the Divas Champion ended up on Superstars at one point in the past month.
Yikes.
That kinda, yikes, yeah. And the thing is, they still had Divas matches on Raw. That's what made it even worse.
Yeah. Of course, I think some of those were just to get, Kane and Eve together.
Oh.
Not
that's not who...
in that way.
That ain't who Kane's hooking, or Eve's hooking up with. Oh, no. That's a whole different story, which I think we should start talking about.
I don't know. How long were they in that locker room before she started screaming?
Hey, there was other divas in there.
Exactly.
Okay. Where are you trying to go with this? Anyways, the match we are trying to talk about next is the Kane versus John Cena in an ambulance match. And before I forget, the Divas match is worth 4 points. This match is worth 4 points, right?
4
points. Okay, so we got an ambulance match. Again, without, bluntly saying logically, this is kind of the end of the rivalry. There's no other really saying it.
Unless your popular thought is The Rock versus John Cena versus Kane.
Why? Why would that occur?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I mean, unless you think that, logically, this is it. Kind of what I mean... There's kind of sarcasm there.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate well on Skype.
No, Skype, no. It ain't Facebook, at least. Woo, that'd be a whole different story. But yeah.
True.
Although, the thing is, sad part is, Kane's not even the main part of the storyline anymore in some respect.
No, it's now up to,
Zack Ryder and Eve.
And Eve, yeah. Which...
Would you like to explain what has happened for those who may not understand this conversation quite yet?
Well, no, I don't, but I guess
you don't want to. Okay.
Awkward moment on Raw was
I think that's an understatement. You got a better word for it?
Yeah, well, I don't want to, build it up too much, because WWE might think we liked it. Well, I don't know. I might have liked this, but anyways, okay. So we go backstage, and Kane has Eve, and she's walking into the ambulance. And he shuts the door. He gets in front. Cena eventually, I think him and Kane tussle, and eventually Cena opens the door before Kane can pull away in the ambulance.
No, Eve had to open up the door.
Well, yeah, but Cena was pounding on the door.
Cena was like, open the door, Eve! Get to the door! Get the chopper open! He was trying, it was kind of odd, because you would imagine you'd be able to open the door from the outside.
You would think.
I would think the inside would have to be more locked up, so that way the cart doesn't unlock it somehow, while you're in transportation.
Yeah.
But, sorry. Just, I don't know. I'm not an ambulance driver, so,
Fun fact. So Eve finally opens the door, he comes out, she jumps in his arms, and then she kisses him. And he kisses back. And then they pull
I don't know. The referees are still on that call. I
think he kissed back, okay? And then they kind of pull apart, and I think she says, I'm sorry, and he's like, what was that for? And then, of course, you know what's coming next. Zack Ryder in his little wheelchair, in his little full ensemble of I got a broken something in my back somewhere. He sees it.
And he turns red face.
He does. But I think he was just constipated and it just hit him at a bad time. Too soon?
Too soon.
Too soon. And so then later we get Ryder and Eve, and Eve's like, I'm sorry, I just want to be friends. Don't want to lose you. No, Zack, don't leave me. Sad. Sad.
And then Zack Ryder got pushed off the stage.
Yep, end of it. Yep, pretty much. That was nasty,
okay,
too.
and here's the thing. Ian Kane said, like, Cena, you have finally embraced the hate, but man, hey, you still ain't no man's girlfriend? Ho, don't, I don't touch that man. Even Kane realizes this is awkward.
Yeah.
And he's done it before.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you're trying to say, I mean, I don't know, it's just, it's weird. I mean, I kind of get why they had this happen, because I think they're trying to maybe give Cena a, I won't say heel flavor, but kind of a bad flavor, you know? Because a guy that would kiss another guy's girl.
They're trying to, I think, bring out the 2005 John Cena where he can take on the world and he's untouchable in some sense, except with his aggression side added to it. Is where I think they're trying to push it for the WrestleMania match, Rock versus John Cena. Dun dun dun.
He's always had an aggression side, though. I mean, he's always been aggressive and, you know,
but
never quit until he got what he wanted, and apparently he wants Eve.
Yeah. Which then, what, is Eve going to assist John Cena to the ring at WrestleMania?
I don't...
I mean, there's just, the way that it builds up, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to incorporate this into the Rock storyline, or they're going to completely drop it until after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Which in either case is going to be weird.
Well, I mean, I could see, you know, how they would do that with Ryder, you know, riding off the stage. You see what I did there?
Well, no, but you still got Eve.
Yeah, but it's Zack Ryder that's going to have a problem with it. And I think
Then, which flying off the stage, I mean, that's like career ending. Actually, in some cases, WWE considers just death.
Yeah, that was pretty ugly.
Although he ain't foreign, so, you know, he might have a half chance of living, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awkward moments, WWE. Thanks. But, yeah.
I think I agree with you. I think this is another one of those kind of obvious choices.
And in this case, literally, we know the reason why. We don't want to have that 0.5 millimeter chance of a surprise ending.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you have something awkward happen at a pay-per-view, which I've only got one possibility, but I don't even see it really happening because it would be kind of a why. Although, I guess in this case, it would make sense. And my first thought, actually, was The Rock screws John Cena out of the ambulance match. But that would make no sense. But then again, you know, supposedly The Rock was supposed to make his return to wrestling at WrestleMania 28, and, well, they jumped the gun a few months on that. Referring a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Oh, but speaking of jumping the gun, it has no leeway for it. So we'll go on to another match.
Oh, wow.
I know, I got you there, didn't I? And I think, you know, we're talking about a pay-per-view called Elimination Chamber, just one. But we've got to have a few of them. And I think the first one we need to talk about is the SmackDown edition of the Elimination Chamber. There's so many editions in this, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the next match we're going to talk about is the Elimination Chamber match that has Daniel Bryan's World Heavyweight Championship on the line. The competitors in it are Daniel Bryan, Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, The Big Show, The Great Khali, and Santino Marella for a 10-point match. Did I just seriously have to say all those names?
You did. Did a good job. Could have been a little more enthusiastic.
Okay. Back up the wheel for a second. The Great Khali.
Yeah.
I just said The Great Khali.
Yeah, and it wasn't very entertaining when you said it.
I know.
Unenthusiastic, kind of like Ali, Santino Marella.
I said Santino Marella!
You did.
He's in this match. Why? Lazy.
Well, I think they don't have anybody else. I mean...
Okay, don't get me wrong. Santino actually is a decent wrestler if they allow him to wrestle.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. Khali is the worst offender. I mean, even on Raw, I think it was, I don't know if it was this week or last week, Randy Orton had to take Khali's hand and got it to his own throat. And I'm like, really? And y'all brought Khali back, why?
He's a legend, supposedly.
Oh,
Like-
legendary for his...
Wait, okay. Maybe we forgot. They for the Royal Rumble, Great Khali returned, which kind of threw us all off because we're like, wait, is he on SmackDown still? And supposedly he isn't.
He isn't?
Is that make? He isn't. That's the word they're going around on the street with.
Okay.
He's a part of SmackDown, but he's only there temporarily.
Yeah, he's just, you know.
So he basically got the upgrade package of the Undertaker's package deal of when he can wrestle,
Yeah.
which is kind of awkward.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, okay, I understand that literally 2 of your competitors in the match are injured. That was originally going to be in it. Mark Henry and Randy Orton. That's kind of a big blow to the WrestleMania thing. Although, don't get me wrong, they're saying that rumors are Orton ain't injured, whatever. They're still going with the injuries. Whether real or fake, whatever. So basically, you've got left Daniel Bryan, Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, and The Big Show. Unless you're one of the few that believe Santino Marella can do the impossible. Which, I mean, something's up with it. You almost can smell something's up with that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think Khali and Santino could very well be kind of a comedy portion of the show.
Ooh. Elimination Chamber with comedy.
Yeah, I just feel it. There's something about it that just says it's going to be comedy in there. And you're right, Elimination Chamber shouldn't have comedy, but I don't know.
And the worst part of it is, it'll probably be a comedy of errors.
Yeah, well, when Santino's involved, is it ever not a comedy of errors?
I'll say more Great Khali, but...
Well, he's just errors. He's hardly ever...
He's just errors. The errors part of it. There you go, that's their tag team name.
Comedy of errors.
Santino's been looking for a tag team partner as of late, you know.
There we go. We just created it.
We just, WWE, get on it. You know
heard
it.
it here first.
That's right. But yeah. Basically, but yeah. And the thing is, can Cody or Wade be really pushed for it?
Yeah.
I mean, Wade, don't get me wrong, personally, Wade Barrett should be pushed a lot more. Cody is finally being pushed in a good direction. But are they World Heavyweight Champion material? Because for WrestleMania especially.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of this. You gotta look at where they're going to be in over...
WrestleMania.
quite a month. Yeah, over a month and a half or a month or I don't know. It's something. Yeah.
But then you got Big Show and Daniel Bryan, which both have, well, one's the world champion currently, and the other one, the Big Show, has been in main event title matches at WrestleMania. Who gets it, though? That's really a good question, because WrestleMania, you remember, there's one other person that's floating around in this match and the next match, Sheamus.
Yeah.
Sheamus is not in the Elimination Chamber, but he is the Royal Rumble winner. He's going to pick one of the titles. Unless he does something crazy like, screw the championship, I want a match against Undertaker.
Yeah.
Which I severely doubt is going to happen. So, yeah, I mean, logically, you're looking at probably Daniel Bryan, a younger person versus Sheamus, and try to build him up. But also, a lot of times, like if you look at last year's WrestleMania, you had normally a veteran with a younger person.
Yeah.
And led to some really good matches. So, which way are they going to go with it? Or are they just going to say screw and put all three in there?
Yeah, I mean, that could happen. But you also got to keep in mind what they've been saying about Big Show and, what is it, Shaquille O'Neal, or...
yeah.
So,
I haven't heard much from that rumor, so maybe I've been forgotten, I don't know.
I don't know. I think, honestly, like I said earlier, this pay-per-view
is too predictable because of WrestleMania. And
yeah.
It's reasonable, too.
I mean, if you want to go out on a limb, I couldn't say that Big Show or even Wade Barrett would be totally
bad
fine.
picks?
Huh?
Wouldn't be a bad pick, because...
No, they would not be bad.
If you had to rank them, like... The way that you have to look at Elimination Chamber is... And you had to pick who's going to WrestleMania. But there's always injuries that can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, with Daniel Bryan walked into the chamber and he's the most likely to be picked, and then suddenly, his leg breaks and hits his head or something really nasty, he's obviously not going to appear at WrestleMania. They're going to have to go with backup number 2 in the match.
Or worse, John Cena kisses AJ, Daniel Bryan gets pushed off a stage again, like Zack Ryder. I'm just saying.
Yeah, as I said, I mean, if you had to rank, like, who's most likely to win, Daniel Bryan, Big Show, and Wade Barrett are probably the top 3.
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily in that order.
Not in the orders, no. But that's the way that you've been talking about them. That's why.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, wasn't that fun?
Yeah, that was okay.
Let's do it again. Let's just do it again.
So
with another Elimination Chamber match.
Santino's in this one too?
No, although did that make you sad? Oh, I'm sorry. If it helps, supposedly the 6 best in the world are in this match, supposedly, or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well. I think there's only 2
supposedly, it's a match with 6 Chris Jerichos in it.
Well, I think there's a lot of copycats in there, I think, kind of what that is.
What that is, okay. But what we're talking about is the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship, the Raw half of the Elimination Chamber representatives. And the people in the match are CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, Chris Jericho, The Miz, R-Truth, and Kofi Kingston. And it should be noted that this is a 10-point match, and that Jericho has the last entry guaranteed.
If you don't mind me starting this one off.
Go right ahead.
I think this is probably a good match of the night, as far as, matches go, match of the night. Because it does have a lot of talent in there, a lot of future stars, as well as current stars, obviously.
Right. As compared to the other match, yes, it's got the young talent in it, but it's not the ones that you're building up.
Yeah.
Like Santino and the Great Khali.
Yeah.
No offense to him. Just saying.
I think there's a little bit of offense there. But, I think this one, I think there's still two guys you got to focus in on here. And even before going into, even at the Rumble, I consider The Miz kind of a dark horse for the Royal Rumble. And I could still consider him kind of a dark horse for Elimination Chamber if it was going to be somebody other than the two I have in mind. Just because he has, like you were talking about with Big Show, he has headlined WrestleManias before. It's kind of been on a downward kind of spiral since then. But he did have a good showing at the Rumble.
True.
But I still think there's just, again, you got to go with WWE has a plan, and I don't think it's going to be unpredictable. So you kind of got to go with one of two people, I think.
And like most of the world, you're probably looking at Jericho and Punk.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it really is the two people that you kind of have to look at in this match, because Kofi's only in there for one reason, and that is to start jumping off the cage like a maniac.
And walking on his two hands.
No, that's the Royal Rumble. And besides, walking on grace would be a lot more painful.
But it would be very entertaining.
Now, he might climb up the cage upside down, maybe.
He'll probably do that. Yeah, he'll probably hang upside down and, kind of fall on somebody and pin them 1, 2, 3.
Start climbing up the glass panels. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of stuff he can do. You have truth in there that, he's completely lost it.
Wow.
He has officially went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
You say that like it's news.
Well, okay, good point. Good point.
Thank you.
You have The Miz, which, that's an interesting one. I mean, that's one of those, when you're saying the top 3 competitors in the matchup for winning, likely, he's that third spot, probably.
Yeah.
And then you also have Dolph Ziggler, which, again, that's probably the tie. For third, I'm logically, Dolph could pull it off, because, believe it or not, he is a former World Heavyweight Champion. You forget that fact, don't you?
No, I don't forget that fact. I was just thinking about, the only way I could see a swerve happening in one of these matches, both chamber matches, is if someone wins it, and then they just go to lose it a week or two later. And I could see that happening more in the Daniel Bryan match. Like the Big Show winning it, and then he has to defend it on SmackDown or Raw or some crap like that, and he gets beaten. Somebody interferes, Daniel Bryan does his stuff, whatever. AJ, you know how they could play it up. I think that's the only way, and I don't really see that happening in this match.
Right.
So I don't really know that
As I said, Dolph Ziggler was one of those interesting things, and plus also, as I said, Jericho's returned recently, and his proclamations, seriously, he is doing a lot of prophesizing lately. Have you noticed that? Everybody else is the ripoff, but I'm the original. End of the world speeches, which we still have no freaking clue what is happening. Yeah, And then we have still Punk in the match. And believe it or not, he's the least interesting character, I think, in this match, because he's just kind of been on a low since, John Laurinaitis, because he's kind of in transition.
Yeah.
I mean, at least with like Daniel Bryan, the other champion, he's at least been doing something. Mostly yelling at Big Show and calling him mean names.
Yeah, got kind of mean.
Yeah, I mean, Big Show's trying to rise above the hate, but see, all this is all connected. This is what WWE writers have to be thinking. Well, see, we went from Punk, Daniel Bryan to Cena. There you go. End of the formula. This entire pay-per-view is about John Cena in their mind. But yeah, as I said, going back to the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship, it's between the two of them, and if people think it's going to be Punk and Jericho at WrestleMania, one of them's got to walk in with the championship. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
So, I think we kind of got it there, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think the basically the moral of this review is predict the predictable. I mean, I guess if you don't want to play it safe,
I mean, right.
But I don't know. What would you say is the match that you, in terms of the Elimination Chambers, which one would you say has the most chance of changing hands?
Probably the World Heavyweight Championship, to be honest.
I mean,
and that's because there's a lot more factor, because we have Sheamus. We have Randy Orton. We technically have Mark Henry, possibly, even. I know, I see your eyes rolling. I'm not even looking at you fully. There you go. So you got a lot more different factors. Plus, you still have the people in the match. Big Show, Wade Barrett. And then you still got Daniel Bryan in all of this. So, I mean, there's a lot more opportunity for match development at WrestleMania, where Punk, he has Sheamus and the people in the chamber, but Punk really hasn't done anything else besides them.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we see John Laurinaitis make his WrestleMania debut and win the WWE Championship and pull a Michael Cole.
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. No.
Yeah, because, you so want to see John Laurinaitis in those orange tights. No, you...
You want me to hang up on you. It's like you want me to hang up.
Oh.
Yeah. Alright, so any final thoughts?
Look forward to WrestleMania, guys, because that's what they're building. They are building WrestleMania. And that's the thing. I mean, in some sense, it's kind of like the Royal Rumble. You kind of have to predict WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And these are like the only two pay-per-views that are meant to design to build up a pay-per-view, when the rest are built to build up rivalries and storylines. Royal Rumble could get away with a little bit of, shock factors and whatnot, but these two, it's kind of hard to have a shock factor.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the year, it's fair game. Including WrestleMania. Although, I don't think, something crazy will happen, but you get my point.
I get your point.
And man, you've gotten really blurry.
Yeah, sorry about that. You shouldn't drink so much. See what I did there?
I see what you did there. And I guess we should wrap this up, because it is awkward. The whole this entire pay-per-view going into it's awkward because it's like you kind of know what's going to happen. And then, of course, there's Eve.
Well,
I had to resist the urge saying Lita there for a second, but you know.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. Alright, but that was the Nameless Blog Elimination Chamber Edition. And I am the Nameless One, Aaron, and
I'm Adam.
this is speak. There you go. And I guess until WrestleMania. See